Hey, I'm Kaylee.
And I'm Jasa.
And welcome to Real Talk.
Hey guys, welcome back to Real Talk. This is episode 19. We're going to be talking about beauty standards and body image, self-worth, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so this was something I've been pushing for a long time just because it's finally summer, and I feel like that's when all the pressure and all the body comparison and everything comes in, like, hardcore. So I feel like this is a really good time to do this, and I'm excited. We have some good things planned.
Yeah, so I'll start. So for me, some of the things I have written down, as a dancer, I think we've talked about this in the past with our self-confidence mini-series thing.
Mm-hmm.
I dance, and so as a dancer, that's something that I struggle with a lot, with comparing my body to the people around me, and assuming that I don't fit it because of maybe my ability, or just I guess there's only a standard if you set the standard for yourself. And so, if you feel like this is what I feel like. If I don't fit the standard of, what a good dancer is supposed to look like, then I'm not good enough. Or, I'm not a good dancer if I don't fit this, because I'm not going to get noticed because I don't look the certain way. And so, something I've had to accept and have to talk a lot about is accepting my genes, and we've talked about this too, you can't change your DNA, and if it runs in your family to I don't have bigger hips or certain things that you're insecure of, you can't change it, and you literally can't do anything about it. And that's something I'm really struggling with right now, is just having to accept that. But also something I'm finding is I've spent so long going not that this is wrong, but I've spent so long just accepting my body, and accepting all the things about it, and reminding myself of all the quotes and verses and all the things God says about me, and that he created me perfectly and all that. And I think for me, I've just shrugged off the feeling of I don't know, just the feeling not feeling good enough, but not just continually trying to just remind myself of things, rather than rather than
Just naturally
making it easier to believe.
Yeah.
If I work hard, if I eat better, or do more, be more active, or certain things, if I work harder and earn that for myself, because I've gone through the period of time where I've believed the things, and believed the verses and the quotes and the things people say to me. But I think in a new season where I've overcome that, and I've been through that and accepted it, that now it's time to instead of having to go back to that all the time because I don't work hard enough, that I should just work harder to not necessarily have the body I want, but
You
put work into it. And that's just something for me personally. I've gone so long with all the quotes and all the verses and all the just reassurance, that I just want to earn it. I want to work for it, and not, make myself proud, not just in the mindset of it, the physical aspect of it. And so, I mean, I don't know if anyone can relate with that, but with dance, I struggle a lot with comparison, and even just in life, just summertime, and feeling insecure, and finding all the flaws, and
I think we've all looked in the mirror at least one time in our life, and only saw imperfections,
Mm-hmm.
whether it be in your body, whether it be in your face, whether it be anything, And I don't know. Like, I felt that. My face is my biggest, like, I don't know. It's such a weird thing, but I don't know. My face is what I've really been like, ew, it looks weird. Ew, it, like, I don't know. Weird. I don't know. It's a weird insecurity, but that's what I've constantly compared. So I understand that feeling of something you literally cannot change unless I go get like a full on like face reconstruction.
Yeah.
But that's something we've all had to face before, you know? And it sucks because it's molded into us. Like, we are molded to think that way. You know, I've always thought about that. I was like, if you brought a human into this world and didn't bring it into this society, what would it think of itself?
Yeah.
You know? Because honestly, I'm starting to think that the whole beauty standard is the exact opposite of what you are.
Yeah, you always want what you don't have.
Think about it. If you have curly hair, you want straight hair. If you're short, you want to be tall. If you have blue eyes, you want brown eyes. If you have brown eyes, you want blue eyes. Like, it's always the opposite of what you have. And we're conditioned to believe that whatever we are naturally is wrong, is ugly, is not the standard.
Yeah.
And we kind of have to just take a step back and realize, like, I hate how I think, bear with me on this, but I think we've put our bodies too high on this pedestal.
Yeah.
I think we've made it more important than it needs to be. And of course, that's society, but it's just, it shouldn't be compared. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's, in my opinion, it's a form of identification. That's all it is. It's a way to identify people. If, like me over here with my big nose, my, you know, brown hair, big eyes, whatever, that's how you know it's Kaylee. You know, I look at Jasa with her blonde, curly hair, blue eyes, the lips shaped their way they are, and I can register that that's Jasa. It's a form of identity, such as a name. You get where I'm going with this. And so that's not meant to be compared, because now it's comparing identities.
Yeah, and this summer, like, I went to camp. I go to Kanakuk. I love Kanakuk. But, so something I really was, like, reminded of this summer was, and it's something that I've, like, found that I came back and I immediately, like, used it for someone and, like, gave that advice to someone, and, like, it was really interesting how that worked and, like, how God put that into play. But I've always heard it, like, I know it, but it seemed more real at camp, where there's this verse, I don't remember where it's found, but it's like, consider it pure joy when you encounter trials of many kind, because for me, like, this whole insecurity phase is a trial that, like, it's not, like, it may be like Satan putting it on you and, like, making you face that time because he knows he wants you to fail. Like, that's what he wants. But God allows it to happen because I find that, like, because he wants it, like, all he wants is for us to be closer to him. And so I find that, like, the joy in the verse is, like, like, finding that, that, like, all he wants for you is growth, and all he wants for you is to grow closer to him, and, like, he allows that trial because he wants you to, like, try harder to put your faith in him and, like, find his word and, like, lean on him in that time to, like, that's leaning on him is going to make you grow closer and, like, trust him more. And I think, like, in full, like, that's what he wants. And so,
Yeah.
That phase is a trial, and not saying it's a phase, like, it's always it's, like, for me, it's always happened, like, it's always been a part of my, like, a part of my life, just something, like, I'm always seeing and I'm always aware of, whether I'm wearing a swimsuit, whether I'm at dance, whether I'm just at home, like, I'm always aware of, like, how I look, and, yeah, so it's never ending, but, I think it's just, like, find the joy in it and find the peace of just knowing that, he's allowing it to happen. He's not making it happen. Like, finding that difference in wording, like, it's joy rather than like, I don't know what word that would be, but just, I don't know, like, you should want to grow closer to him as much as he wants you.
Yeah.
And so yeah, leaning on him in those trials and finding the joy in it.
Yeah, there was this sermon I heard, and it was about mountains of your life, and it's like self-made mountains, Satan-placed mountains, and God-placed mountains. And these God-placed mountains are mountains we have to conquer. The other two we can actually destroy before we even get to climb it. But God-made mountains you have to climb, you have to conquer. And I've noticed in a couple of my mountains that it always means something different from what you think. It's odd. Like with insecurities, he might not be teaching you beauty. He might be teaching you dependency and, you know, how to lean on him and not other people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I feel like with God, there's always a hidden message. In the Bible, always, but I told somebody this advice the other day, and bodies are ever changing. They're never gonna remain the same, no matter what. Pregnancy, you don't see a woman getting pregnant and then going right back to what she was. You know, that's change, that's growth, that's honestly beauty. She just produced a life. That's the most beautiful thing ever.
Yeah.
Bodies are ever changing. You eat, you get bloated. They're not gonna stay skinny. You've heard of like the morning skinny, whatever. Like they're gonna change. That's what they do. And it's sick how we compare that, you know, and we think that that's bad because it's not. It's not, because we're all like flowers. And society has told us that only roses are beautiful. The only flower that's beautiful is a rose. That's it. And so when sunflowers bloom, they're just brought up with this ideology that they are ugly. They don't fit the standard, so that means they're ugly. Sunflowers are my favorite flowers, to anybody who is wondering. Tulips are gorgeous. Like, a rose is not the definition of beauty. It shouldn't be. That's what we're all conditioned to think, but it's not. And so this journey through this is going to be hard. It's going to be hard. But God doesn't give you something you can't handle without him.
And that, like, in relation to that, like, you've heard the saying, like, in a world full of, what is it? Like,
In a world full of Cheerios, be the Fruit Loop.
Yeah. All the different, like, plays on that. But, like, in a world full of roses, be a sunflower.
Yeah.
Like, in a field of roses, you know, like, if everybody's the same and everybody, like, strives for that same look and that same standard that they believe is true, then, like, stand out.
Yeah.
You know, be that sunflower that, like, is confident in being a sunflower and not, like, wants their petals to be a different color or, like, wants to be taller or shorter or, like, you know, all that different aspects of, like, the difference in how they look. And
and I feel like we try to trim up our flower. We try to get rid of our thorns.
Yeah.
We try to condense our petals and everything. And then eventually you're like, what am I? Because you're not a sunflower anymore. And so it's just kind of, you have to bloom the way that you're made. You know what I mean? And God made you a certain way. He planted that seed. You are his seed. And you are supposed to bloom the way he wants you to.
And you're going to keep, like, when you rely on the sun and you rely on, like, the soil underneath you and your foundation, like, you're going to keep growing. And you're going to, like, you're going to grow taller and you're going to, like, you're going to bloom more when the sun becomes your reliance. So, you know, like, all the different, you know, the ways that a flower grows. Like, and
even if you think you're a weed, do you know those purple little weeds that grow every summer? They look like flowers, and my dad's always like, those are weeds.
Yeah.
They are my favorite things ever. I love those things. So even be a weed in a field of roses. That's our advice.
Yeah.
But
and, like including God in this, like, when you hate on yourself and you hate on your body and, like, you think it's not right and you think it's, like, not the way it's supposed to be, like, that's, like, hating on the most amazing artist of the whole world.
Yeah.
Like, God is the most unique, like, insanely talented
artist there is.
Creator there ever was. Like, Bob Ross has nothing on Oh my God.
Well, even like I've heard that analogy, like Picasso.
Mm-hmm.
He painted Mona Lisa, right?
I have no idea.
Da Vinci,
Van Gogh,
Van Gogh.
maybe. I don't know.
Do not judge me on my artist knowledge, but nobody. Who is it?
Girl, I don't know. I'm not looking it up.
Okay, I'm just gonna say the artist. Don't cancel me. Nobody goes up to the Mona Lisa and is like, he should have painted her like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's ugly. No, that is one of the most beautiful pieces of art in all of history.
Mm-hmm.
It's been stolen. It's been replicated. Like, it is such, like, gorgeous stuff because of the artist.
Mm-hmm.
It's because the artist made it. That's what makes it beautiful. And that's what we keep forgetting. God made us. God made us in his image. That's in the Bible, y'all. In his image. What does that say when we hate on ourselves? If he made us in his image.
He's wrong. Like, you're just saying that.
Like, God, you're ugly. Like,
yeah.
no. Stop. We were made in his image. He made you the exact way you are. There's this movie, and I always think about it. I have no idea what it's called. But it was like, this girl was cursed, and to whoever she loved would die, basically. So she was like, okay, her friend was like, well, wish for a guy. What do you want your future husband to look like? So she just wished for the impossible. She was like, I want him to have one blue eye and one green eye, and I want him to be tall, and I want him to be a little chubby, and I want, like, just, she tried to make it as impossible as it could be. Then, like, 20 years later, this guy with one blue eye, one green eye, tall, little chubby, came up, and they fell in love. Like, even that, you know? Like, if you're so obsessed with, like, oh, nobody's gonna find me pretty, they could have wished for you to look exactly the way you are.
Mm-hmm.
There might be a guy out there who's like, man, I really want a girl with a big nose. Here I am. like who knows, you know? And it's for God, you know, and it's in identification of who you are.
Yeah, and another thing we learned at camp, I'm pretty sure, was like, if we're like, it says in the Bible that we're God's temple, and that we're his vessel of, like, creating disciples and, like, growing people closer to God. And so if that's the only reason we're here, then why does how we look matter? You know, like, there's no point in trying to change it, I guess, if, like, if that's not your purpose. Like, for me, my side of it is, like, it's not, like, in order for me to be happy, like, I have to look a certain way. Like, it's just a different aspect of, like, wanting to earn
you want to be proud of how you look.
Yeah. And so
yeah.
And so in that, like, it's not like I've passed through the phase of, like, leaning on God. Like, I've done that for so long that for me, it's time to, like, put in the work and, like, you know, whatever. I've already said it. But, and so along with the work of what we're doing now is, like, trying to grow people closer and, like, trying to share the message and, like, the good works. And, like, the good works for me have been that, like, I have felt confident in, like, not in the past, but, like, I don't know. But, yeah, you go. I think I've lost my words.
I think for me, like, whenever I feel self-conscious, I will do anything in my power to find some way to laugh that day. Mm-hmm. Like, I've had horrible mornings where I just, like, didn't have time to put mascara on or didn't get to do this and my face is puffy or whatever. Just, we've all had that day where we just feel like dirt. And I go to school and I'm like, okay, somebody make me laugh. I went up to this guy one day and I was like, make me laugh. I was like, give me a joke, do something, make me laugh. And he made me laugh and I instantly feel better. Sorry, I'm a babysitter. I work with, like, 7-year-olds, so mind my baby talk. But, like, laughing, that is it's the best medicine in the world. I swear to you. When you laugh, everything goes away. Because when you're happy, that's what it is. We're all just chasing happiness, I feel like. And society has kind of said, oh, if you have the perfect body, you're happy. Because if you have the perfect body, everybody likes you. And if everybody likes you, you're popular. And if you're popular, you got it made. You're happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think in game we're trying to just find happiness. And we've kind of, you know, minimized that smushed it all together. I don't know the word. Smushed it all together in this one idea of body image.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, you're not your body is the whole point. I love you as a friend because your personality shines through. And your face is the identification of that personality.
Mm-hmm.
I see your laughter. I see your silly side. I see everything about you through your smile and through the creases around your eyes. Everything about it. That's just you. And it represents the person I love most in this world.
Right.
Creased eye. So everything else, like, that's exactly what it is. It's a representation of the person you are on the inside. And if you just construct yourself on the outside to represent something pretty and never show anybody your inside, what's that going to do? It's like an orange. Sorry, you were about to talk. But it's like an orange. If you fall in love with the peel and then you take a bite of the actual orange, you're going to be like, oh, okay.
You're hungry.
But if you love the taste of oranges and then you see an orange with the peel doesn't matter. You're like, ooh, pores, and it's orange. Okay, my favorite.
Thank you. Something you told me one time, before camp was, show your heart, not your face.
Yeah.
And that's just something like you'd rather people, because kind of like what we talked about in the last episode, like, what did we talk about in the last? Oh yeah. Sorry. So, like your face, say you've worked so hard for your face or something, like in metaphorically. Ooh, that's a big word. Okay.
Go, Jason.
So if you have worked up this to look like this, then that's gonna fade. Like how she was saying, like your body's ever changing. Like if you're showing your heart rather than like your heart as in your personality and like your values, all that like stuff in the inside, then and rather than your face, like why show something that's temporary? I don't know if that's what I'm trying to say.
But I mean it's true because I'm excited to age. This is a little weird, but I'm so excited to get old and wrinkly and have like age spots and everything. Everything about it, I'm just excited. And like my grandma and my mom are always like, you look so good. Like you're so youthful and your skin's so bouncy and whatever. And they're just like, I used to look like that. And they're just like, they feel bad about how they look now. And I'm like, no, you are aged to perfection, my friend. You are gorgeous.
Julie Mima.
Yeah.
So
Shout
gorgeous.
out. Mima, if you're watching this, I love you.
Love you.
Glad you found it. But I mean, it's the same thing. Like, I mean, yeah, tying in last episode, that was a good little thing. We're not taking our bodies to heaven. Think about that.
It's more of our soul, which is our heart.
Which is our heart.
That was good. Okay, yeah.
You're not taking your body to heaven. Your body is going to get brittle, it's going to age, and it's going to shut down. And guess what? Your soul, your heart gets to go to heaven.
Yeah.
That's all God cares about.
So for advice-wise, we want to incorporate some verses, like how we were saying, like how I was saying, like consider it pure joy when you encounter trials, like leaning on Him. These are just some verses we found that we believe would hold you up in that.
Yeah.
So
you've heard our words. Let's hear His.
Yeah. So Genesis 1:27 says, so God created man in His own image. He created him in the image of God. He created them male and female. So,
in His image.
His image, keyword. Okay, let me find. You can say something while I find the other one.
Well, it's His image. Like there's one verse. It's like we're the vines to the branch. Or what is it?
I'm the vine, you're the branches.
I'm the vine, you're the branches. Like we are part of God. We branch off on God. It's like calling the trunk of the tree pretty and all the leaves ugly. Like it doesn't work like that. We are the leaves. God is the trunk. If we think God is beautiful, I mean, I have never met a person who's like, God's ugly. But, I mean, we are made in His image. We are the leaves to Him.
Yeah. So, next verse, Song of Songs 4:7. It says, you're absolutely beautiful, my darling. There is no imperfection in you. I just love that. Like, it sounds so, just like reading it, like it sounds like a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like we always call him the Father. I feel like that's the most like fatherly verse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of like my darling. That's such a pet name, and you know, sentimental, and like you know them, and he knows us. We are him.
Yeah. The next one is 1 Peter 3:3-4. It says, "Don't let your beauty consist of outward things like elaborate hairstyles and wearing gold jewelry or fine clothes, but rather what is in the inside, the heart, the imperishable quality of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight." Same kind of thing, like not storing up your treasures and like what you may consider treasures right now. Like they're gonna fade, and it says like don't let your beauty consist of outward things like hairstyles and jewelry and clothes. Like we consume our lives with, like wearing the popular thing and like the gold jewelry that's, you know, in, and it says but rather the imperishable quality, the quality that won't perish, the quality of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is worth more in his sight. So I love that verse.
Again, let your soul shine through, because that's what people are gonna see.
Yeah.
That's what I try to make an effort to do every time I meet somebody new. I try to smile as big as I can. I try to make a joke. I try to laugh, you know, like I try to have my soul be shown before they even see my face.
The next one is Psalms 94:18-19. It says, "If I say my foot is slipping, your faithful love will support me, Lord. When I am filled with cares, your comfort brings me joy." So yeah, like
he's got you. Yeah,
saying he's got you, and when you call out saying my foot is slipping, or like I'm struggling, God, like this is hard, like I don't know I'm supposed to believe this, like
that's his favorite moment. When his children come to him. Think of it like your father. That is literally what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to help you. He's supposed to help you grow. He's supposed to navigate where you're supposed to go. He's supposed to give you advice. That's what fathers are for. God is our father. He's saying when you're hurt, when you're hurting, when you're upset, when you're confused, come to me. That's my job. That is why I made you.
Another verse is come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest.
Yeah.
Which also correlates with how it says your comfort brings me joy. Like rest and comfort like go hand in hand with, like they mean that same feeling of peace.
Honestly, I think that's the highest form of praise to God. It's not worship music. It's not reading your Bible. It's just going to him in times of need.
Yeah.
You know, because that shows devotion, and God's never going to steer you wrong. You know, and I feel like a lot of these times it is a God-placed mountain in front of us, and we have to think, okay, God, I'm strapping down. This is a big mountain, but I got this. You're going to have to help me. And he's got you. He's taking you on this mountain for a reason. He sees the horizon that you are yet to find.
I just found this other one, Psalm 95, 6-7, which all of this whole, like, Psalms 90s, like, all the 90s of Psalm are all kind of along the same lines, but Psalm 95, 6-7 says, "Come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. For he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, the sheep under his care."
Yeah.
Like, the Lord our Maker. And it says, like, let us worship and bow down. Like, bow down to him in
an emotional sense.
Yeah, like, by going to him and by leaning on him. And we're the people of his pasture. Like, we belong to him, and he's the one that cares for us.
Yeah. I feel like there's this, unidentified way of being like, oh, I need to be strong. I need to be the best Christian I possibly can in order to praise God. Absolutely not. God loves the broken. He loves the lost. What is it? Daniel.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It just
Matthew.
hit me too.
No, it's Matthew. Matthew 8. 15-18, I think.
Whoa. Matthew, Mark.
It's my favorite verse
Luke
in the
and
whole
John.
entire Bible.
There's one, I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but Matthew, hold on.
Please hold. Matthew.
4.
I think it's 8.
You can flip. But the like why like he doesn't care more for. Oh, are you talking about the doctor one?
No.
I don't remember. It's something about how like the ones who are struggling are the ones who need the doctor. Like if someone's homeless or something, like they need God more so than maybe someone who's got it all together may. I don't know if that's like biblical, but I've heard that somewhere.
Okay, here it is. Matthew 18, verse 12 says, what do you think? Or let's go back to 10. Matthew 18:10 says, See to it that you don't despise one of these little ones, because I tell you that in heaven their angels continually view the face of my Father in heaven. What do you think? If someone has 100 sheep and one of them goes astray, won't he leave the 99 on the hillside and go search for the stray? And if he finds it, truly I tell you, he rejoices over that sheep more than over the 99 that did not go astray. In the same way, it is not the will of your Father in heaven that is one of these little ones that perish.
Yep.
One of these little ones perish. So God loves the lost, just what I said. He can have 99 sheep, 99 followers that are completely devoted, never leave. But the one that goes astray, if he finds that one and he comes back, that is a bigger success to him than keeping the 99. So no matter what you do, if you're like, God, I'm lost, I don't know where you are, please help me, bah, bah, like a sheep, he's going to find you and he's going to rejoice in that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't have to be this strong, confident Christian in order for him to love you. You don't have to be that to praise him.
Yeah.
He loves you the way you are made.
Yeah,
he made
being
you
vulnerable
in him.
in that, and like just like accepting and like admitting you're like that you're broken or you're lost or you've gone astray. Like he'll come find you, and like he sometimes it's hard to find that hard to like accept that he's like listening and like that he hears you and sees you, but like he literally does. Like
he does.
You may not find that now. Like you may not see him bring that. You may not see like the outcome of something you've prayed for a long time.
Yeah.
For a long time, you know, like it could be 10 years, it could be 10 minutes, like you never know. And yeah, so we should probably wrap this up. It's getting kind of long, but yeah, so that's just a little bit of vulnerability within us of like what we faced and what God says about that and leaning on him in that trial. So yeah.
So that wraps up this episode.
That's
and
sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
Go ahead. That's episode 19, and we talked about beauty standards and image and leaning on God in the trial of insecurity. And so yeah, not hopefully. Oh my gosh.
Hopefully.
We will see you in episode 20 next time. Bye guys.